Hey there, friendlies. How's up? Welcome to the 27th of April episode of the Bevies, Blades, and Bushcraft Livestream. We got bevies, we got blades, and we may talk about something bushcraft or bushcraft adjacent tonight, depending on where the spirit takes us. Excuse me. Once again, I have nothing planned because once again, life just got in the way. However, you good peeps are always good for a chuckle and a good conversation, so have at her. Before we do that, though, and before I check to see who's with us, I would like to do the usual housekeeping, and that's the part where I say, if at any point, if you're watching us time shifted to tomorrow or next week or next month or whatever, thank you for your eyes. Thank you for listening. Thank you for the comments that sometimes show up in the doobly-doo. I do love knowing that you're still here after the fact, even though you cannot participate in this Chitty McChat right here. Aside from that, if you love at any point tonight, you decide you love what's happening, I invite you to drop me a smiley thumb. If at any point tonight you kind of hate what's going on, that's okay. The frowny thumb works just as well. And if you would like to play a more active part in keeping that light on around here, then I invite you to right-click the join button down there, open that in a new tab so you don't miss any of the good stuff going on right here. And there you will see the 2 tiers of membership that are open to you, as well as what each tier gets you for your hard-earned cash. And it seems that more and more our cash is definitely hard-earned and easily spent. So if you're spending it with me, I really treasure that. So let's see who's chitting and chatting with us, and then we'll see what we're going to talk about. I know at one point we're going to do another AI cabins night. I'm just not sure when that's going to be. I'm just waiting on Russell to say, ready to go, Holmes? And I'll say, all right, Holmes. Country Boy popping in first, I believe. With a Tuesday. It is, in fact, Tuesday. Thank the gods. That was at 8:58, which was like, I think 1 minute after I finally got this thing organized and posted. I need to cut my hair. Look at that. Starting to look like a damn hippie. Then Chris pops in right on his heels to say number one until Christy gets here. It's nice to see that you're a bit of a realist. By the way, both Country Boy and Peanut Trucker are channel mods. Country Boy is also a channel hero. Canadian coming in, a tight third with a whole bunch of the usual emojis. The emojis that I love to see showing up every week. Like to know that Canadians hanging with us, no matter how high octane life gets. It's always nice to see you. I totally burnt the top of my mouth at supper. So if I'm complaining and bitching and moaning, it's because I just don't handle pain very well. Hey, speaking of pain, I don't know if you guys have ever had a physiotherapist stick a 3-inch needle in your arm, but I cannot recommend it. I was real good about it yesterday because I had Clem with me because there was just no time to drop her off before my physio appointment. But when the physio was done, she said, so how was that? And I said, that felt terrible. But it strangely feels better now that you've done that. It was really weird, like, because she had this needle in and it was making the muscle just jump. And I was like, what? That was weird. And she, yeah, well, what that was the strain letting go of the tension. And so it hurts like hell today, but not in the same way. Like, it does feel better. So little by little, hook and by crook, or whatever all those little sayings are, it will get better. First thumbs up. That's nice to see, because I'm not going to reload the YouTube page for fear of losing the chat or whatever, because technology bites. I will not be able to see, so just keep a running tab there, mister. Oh, and if I suddenly disappear on you guys like I did last week, sorry. I disappeared on YouTube, but this thing kept on broadcasting, so I have no idea what happened there. None. It's too bad because I was being fabulously interesting. Kendra says, my chat shows me first, my friend. How's it going, Mr. Chris? Yes, how is it? Where are you tonight, Chris? Are you guys seeing this ad? What the hell is up with this? Are you guys seeing this like inset ad? Can I skip? I can skip that. Let me know if you guys saw that weird screen on screen ad, which, by the way, I feel if that's what everyone's getting, then that's a massive improvement over interrupting the show for an ad. It was weird. And it threw me a bit, but that's a lot better than people going, I missed everything because of an ad. Country Boy is being unusually inclusive tonight. We're all number one. Everybody's beautiful in their own way. Oh, the Madame is home. Oh no, Canadian's going to send me a pic of the fire he had last week. Why am I getting so many notifications from the alarm system? Oh, sorry, folks. Yes, by all means, send that, and I will see if I can find my phone. There it is. Have you already sent it? Yes, you have. Let me take a damn look. Oof. Wow, that looks like a nice night. Your name's not showing up? Okay. I'm going to take you off. Like, how can I? Oh, there was. Nice little fire pit you got there. Love it. Man, I have not sat next to a roaring fire in a long time. Stormy Louisiana. How stormy? You got like a rainstorm going on? You got like a hurricane going on? I shouldn't laugh. Chances are always high that there is one. Grace Martin in the house saying hi to everybody. Hey there, Grace. Country Boy says Cajun country, good food, peanut trucker. Yeah, there's a Cajun place here, which does have fabulous food. Tea's a good drink, by the way. I got a beer. Because I'm feeling unusually chipper tonight. I didn't check what it was. It's purple, so Rang des Pointes. Oh, it's a blanche au Camerise et framboise. What the hell is a Camerise in English again? Brassé à Saint-Tite. Shit, what is a Camerise? What time are we at? It's 21:10. So hold on. Apparently it's the 28th today. Yes, it is. There's Paul. Mr. Paul, how are you doing? Paul, this is what I'm going to do at 10 o'clock tonight, just for, because I haven't had it in a long time. I'm really getting jaded about Ardbeg, which is too bad because they were like my top three for a long time. But I feel the committee releases are really wrecking the brand for me. But I haven't had this Oud all in a long time. So that's what I'm going to have tonight. Paul, do you know what a Camerise is in English? Camerise. Mr. Canadian says, wait till Jess looks at the fire pics I sent him. One is looking up into the trees, and the fire uplit the branches and limbs, and the moon is shining through. Oh, yeah, I just showed that. It's gorgeous. It looks like a fabulous night. Absolutely. Peanut trucker like those pics. Man, this arm is killing me. Country Boy says, sorry he was a dick last week with the glasses. I was trying to be funny. After thinking about it later, it sounded kind of like bullying. I mean, didn't keep me up that night. I don't think you have to worry about it. I bruise easily, but I heal fast. Destiny is in. Hey, Destiny has Gesundheit. At they sweat. Sorry. Destiny has changed her username, which is nice. And I said, that's a good username, Destiny. I like that. Sort of a nod to the oldest handle that I knew you by, and a nod to the one that you got shifted to. That's good. Yeah, Russell forgot that it costs money to generate AI cabinets. Yeah, it does. Like they get you interested for free, and then I mean it's just like drugs, right? The first whatever 100 or 1,000 tokens are free, and then you've used up your the hell's a damn Camarines? All that to say that this is a white beer, which I'm not a big fan of, and it's cherry and some other, not cherry. Framboise is raspberry, and some other small red fruit. So I am not. I shall be optimistic. Hey, I can hear you, you know. They're totally dissing the supper I made. No, well, they're not dissing the supper I made. They're impressed that I didn't mess it up. Okay, so let's give this a try. All right, it's red. All right. So that's how it's going to be. Okay. All right. So that's how it's going to be. That's how it's going to be. That's pretty much what I was expecting. I'm going to have to shower after that. Anyway. Yes, it does cost money. And I'm not going to get on my AI rant again because whatever. Let me see what's going on. Okay, I thought somebody had sent me something, but no. Needling sucks. The thing is, like, so all right, this is boring, but I'll be real quick. Had my physiotherapy appointment at 5. Cody had a game, a flag football game, and the madame was out working till late, and then went to the game. So I was gonna drop Clem off at my mom's. I finished work at 4:30, so it was gonna be tight. So I left work at 4, ran over to school, picked up the squeak. Right, I mean, school at Galton said come and get it early anyway because I don't know, she wasn't feeling well. I think she was just grumpy for some reason. Anyway, she's been having like headaches and coughing lately. So I did that because it was like, okay, that will work well. I was going to pick her up a little Happy Meal at McDonald's. Like they're this big. I was thinking about how small the burgers are. Anyway, whatever. Moving right along. So I ran over, picked her up like 4:45, right? No, not 4:45, but no, it was about 4:15, I think. And I said, tie your shoes in the car, okay? And we bolted for the McDonald's, a huge lineup at the drive-in. So I'm just sitting there and watching the time tick past. And I finally just turned to Clem and said, hey, kitty, I don't think we can go to Grandma's before my appointment. So you're just going to come with me and I'll get you supper when we leave after my appointment, okay? She was great with it. I called my mom. She was like, okay, fine, because I was, anyways, booted it to my appointment, and we got there at 4:58. The reason I didn't want to bring Clem was for two reasons: A, boring, but B, because there's needlework involved, and I, she doesn't like needles. I don't either. I'm crazy bad about needles, but I've become really good at disguising that because I don't want to pass that on to my kids. So anyways, we're doing the physio stuff, and then she's like, should I maybe skip the needle stuff? And I said, look, I want to get better. I have my phone. I will distract this week. So that's what I did. I distracted this week, and I talked to the physio while she did her darndest to make me feel terrible. That's unfair, but anyway. And then when we were done, we then ran to McDonald's, ran home because I had a governing board meeting last night at 7. And then I came down to my thing, and the girls came home, and they did their thing. And I was really tired by the time I got to bed last night. But all this to say, I'm really looking forward to this arm being fixed. There's Mr. Marcus. How you doing? Happy Tuesday to you, Marcus. I have not been keeping up on who is what around here. So I'm just going to go back and say Christy's here. Oh, man, I'm late. Okay, I'm just going to moving on up. Peanut Trucker started a 3-day fast today. Oh, to be home Friday for the Chinese buffet night out. Okay. I mean, hey, at least there's a goal. Skipping. Everyone's got an ad. Yep. But did you guys get that weird thing that it made my screen small and the ad showed up right next to it? Because if that's how they're doing it for live streams, I'm in love with that, because it means that you guys don't miss any of the content that I'm really trying hard to, impress you with. Mike with Mike in the house. What's up? It has been a rough day. Good to be here to relax and talk about the woods. We can absolutely talk about the woods. I do love to talk about the damn woods. Country Boy says, did I get a cortisone shot? I've had a couple of those in your knees. It was brutal. Turns out I had a reaction. Burned like hell. No, I have not had a cortisone shot. I do not believe it will be bad enough for that. I hope it won't be bad enough for that. That is really not where I want to go with this. I tell you, St. Patrick's week was great. I had tennis elbow. My guitarist has tennis elbow. Our fiddler's shoulder is messed up. He's had a few cortisone shots now, and he's just waiting. He's just waiting for surgery, probably in the fall. Because music wrecks the body. So, Mr. Mike, I do hope that there was nothing necessarily wrong with today, that it was just maybe exhausting, because, we all know. Everybody knows. Everybody knows. Raspberry, Mr. Russell is asking, serious question, is nachos twice in a day too much? I mean, let's say one was sausage nachos, the other was chicken. I think the sodium content is what you got to worry about more than the flavor options. Mr. Steve Grounds in the house, how are you doing? I'm all right. I'm doing great. I'm loving life. Look, it's been a beautiful day for a couple of days here. We had snow last week, and then the past several days have been just fabulous. Like 18, 20 degrees kind of thing. So, Steve, I hope you're doing all right. I know that's 20 degrees doesn't sound all that hot from where you're sitting in Arizona, but hey. Mr. Trucker says, tornado watch until 1 a.m. It's going to rock his sleep. Fair enough. Am I caught up yet? No, I'm still 11 minutes late. I'm just going to start going as fast as I can here to catch up. Another ad. I had another ad as well. Destiny has to relog in. Okay. I wonder what happened there. Everybody say quote while she's still gone. Christy Grounds in the house. Christy is a channel hero. Just making sure that everybody knows. Everybody knows. Peanut Trigger says Destiny changed her name after my phone finally remembered her last name. It's funny. Okay, everyone's saying hi, which is great because it means I can just sort of, skip on past. Country Boy says, Christy's here. Say goodbye to your number one, Jerry. That is true. That's very true. Christy's saying hi to Paul. Chris is saying hi to Chris is saying hi to Christy. Everyone's saying hi to everyone. Mr. Holy crap. Oh, hi, Dauber. Haven't seen you in a minute. Here. I see you all the time on Signal. You guys have got to learn how to shop the way this guy can, man. It's crazy. He'll show like this, I don't know, a solid gold hand axe from the Bronze Age. That doesn't make sense. Whatever. And he got it for like $4. It's awful. It makes me feel that every purchase I've ever made has been a terrible deal. Not loving this beer, guys, peoples. Guys, peoples. I don't even know what I'm saying half the time. Sean Alaska's here. How you doing, mister? How's it up in Alaska tonight? No, I did not drink an IPA. This is bad, but it ain't that bad. IPA make me dry heave. Are you guys seeing yellow? Because it's red. Right? It's red. P, that's color means you got something wrong with you. So if that's what your reference is, visit your local ER, please. I'm just sort of trying to get back. What? 15 people watching, only 6 thumbs ups? What the hell's going on? Why you guys got to be hurting me like that? Why you got to be hating? There was no happy ending. There's never really a happy ending. Domino's ad. I do like me a pizza. Mr. Dauber says, I'm sitting on the back patio watching RDB enjoying a small campfire. Of course you are. Of course you are. Because you just got to show off to those of us who can't have a campfire. He said, surreptitiously looking to Signal to see if there's an actual... Yep. How can I show this with... there we go. It's a small fire, but it's still a fire. That's a hell of a fire pit. Is that like more of a cooking fire pit, I guess? Dauber says nothing. Hike says it's work issues. I love my job. I just hate that my position is micromanaged and I don't play that game. By those higher up. Yeah, I get it. I believe you're a teacher, which is definitely a worthwhile profession. It's not one without its slings and arrows, though, as I know very well. Mr. Holy Crap. Oh, is it strong bad? Solid gold axes are garbage. No hardened bit. I knew there was a problem with them. But they're so expensive. I did show Canadians fire picks. I did show them. Okay, I'll show them again. Oh my God, it's already 9:26. Where did he send them to? Here. Fire. Brimstone. Look at this one, though. The light of the fire on the trees down below. The moon through the trees, the clouds. Perfect. Perfect picture. Love it. Sean is drinking an IPA right now. It's the same color as mine. What? IPAs aren't like raspberry red. I still don't know what a Camerise is in English. Gross. Gross. Christy says to Sean, is that your homemade brew? Tea's a good drink. Ouch. Adordara says, no more pizza for me, diabetes. I remember that. Is that type 2? You don't have to answer that in public, actually. That was a dumb question to ask in front of all these people. Oh, it's your homemade. Okay. My dad used to make his own beer. Sort of a you brew kind of thing. Hike says, I did it again. Mike says, burn ban in Florida due to this long-term drought. No campfires until the rains come, which unfortunately means hurricane season. Great. I'm just imagining poor you trying to get a fire going into the gale force winds of a hurricane. You know, like when you're trying to light like the bird's nest, there's a wind, so you're like cupping around. The fire pit is a steel ring surrounded by river rock and tapered block. Ambiance fire pit, cooking fire pit, etc. So it's it does it all. Russell, no, I have friends that play it but never got into computer games. Did I miss a? Oh, Russell's asking if you ever played American Truck Simulator. I mean, I play games, but I don't play simulators. I play a lot of games. Well, not these days. I sort of only on the weekends now. Because it used to be that if I'd had a really rough day, I would unwind playing a little Mass Effect or something. But I'd end up going to bed way too late because, you know, you start to sort of unwind and you end up having a blast. And then it's like, oh, it's 2 a.m. Oh, yeah, right. Destiny was trying to log back in when I showed them. What happened, Destiny? How come you had to log out and log back in? Yep, type 2. So, man, I've always wondered about type 2 is it reversible? Or is it one of those things where once you got it, it sort of hangs around? Dauber says, check out the photo I just sent on Signal at Nesmic Spring Festival last weekend. Oof, okay. That looks like an early morning shot. I can practically hear the birds. Nice shot, mister. Very nice. Yeah, you want to try the airplane simulator? The last time I played a simulator. No, I'm blanking on it. Jerry, really? He's got a fire pit that's overlooked by a. Hold on, let me adjust the brightness on this because it's blowing out. Hot tub overlooking the fire pit. So let me go back to. Oh, I've got my phone upside down. Let me go back to the shot that Outdoor Dauber sent. Let me get his damn name off the screen. There we go. That's better. It's not quite so blown out. I thought it might be therapeutic after a long day of driving like a sane person and following all the rules to load up that game and run down the road, bash the crap out of everything. So I'm real careful about when, like how far, like if I'm coming in front of a truck, I'm real careful about leaving some space. And coming home from work sometime last week, I did that and I was going along, and the guy behind me did not give the trucker the room he needed. And the trucker, no, I was on my way to work, and the trucker, a guy in a Tesla, so of course he thought he owned the road. The guys in the fancy cars always do. Man, that trucker gave him a taste of his foghorn for, I would say, a good 10 seconds. Like, long enough that it was pissing me off. I thought it was pretty funny, though. Like, why would you cut off a semi with a trailer attached? Like, it's bad enough if it's a semi without a trailer, right? But I mean, with that, the guy can't stop. A train can't just stop because you jumped in front of it, right? Or you tried to cross the tracks. Beto in the house. How you doing, Beto? You just had a birthday recently. I mean, I'm going to finish it. It's like a bad date with really good food. I'm not enjoying it, but I'm going to finish it. Beto, Beto, Beto. Everyone's saying hello. Just should try a bushcraft simulator. I would make a bushcraft simulator. I have this idea that I think, excuse me, I think you could fit bushcraft stuff into like a movie or a video game if you do it as part of a larger story and not bore people. Like, you know how in a lot of RPGs, no, you know how in a lot of computer role-playing games, there are these mini games. Sometimes it's combination lock on doors, right? You know, if you want to get into treasure boxes or something, there's like this mini game where you're picking locks or you're finding a whatever. In Mass Effect, they have two different mini games. One is where you sort of reroute circuits, and the other is where you hack a terminal. Like, they're just little mini games. If say you're doing a game, I don't know, American Civil War, or during the time of the Voyageur up in Canada or something, and one of the mini games is maybe why would you do this? Okay, maybe there's a mechanic whereby you have to stop for the night. Like, once it starts to get dark, so you would have a time of day mechanic, like in I think some of the Fallout, I think one or two of the Fallout games did. No, I think they all did, actually. Time of day mechanic. When it starts to get dark, let's make it a Voyageur thing because that's easier for me to imagine. You have to, you have to get off the river, pull up the canoe, and do certain things to ensure that you don't get eaten by wolves or something, right? Something like that, right? And so maybe you have to do 4 things within a certain amount of time, right? Pull up the canoe, unroll your bedroll, whatever. But starting a fire would be a flint and steel. And maybe what you would do is have it timed, like you've got like a little timeline with a red span, and like an arrow just sort of goes across. And if you click just when it's in the span, and like say the later in the game you get, the smaller that little span gets, right? So you got to click in there 4 times, whatever, and that lights your char cloth. And then you can just do a cut scene of, getting a fire going. And then you get out your food or whatever. Because then it's not a game about bushcraft, but it references a quasi-realistic. I don't mean realistic as in, my God, it was like I was there, but it references the things that a voyageur would do when setting up for the night. Yeah, I've got another ad with. I'm gonna take a picture of it to me because I want to show you guys what I'm talking about. Now I'm hoping that the ad doesn't go away. Yeah, split screen. That's what I'm saying. I like that much better than what we had before because it means that you guys won't be missing the content. Is everyone getting a split? I'm going to make a poll. Totally interrupted myself there, but that's fine. Are you getting split screen ads? Typos. I'm going to leave this up until whatever. I'll leave it up for 10 minutes. Somebody tell me when to shut her down. Not reversible, but manageable. No insulin currently, just diet and some meds. I'm working hard on my diet as well, not for diabetes, but for cholesterol and blood pressure and heart health and being old. That sounds like I'm complaining, but I will say that on the plus side, I don't mind the flavors and stuff that I get from eating, with plant proteins instead of animal proteins. I've been trying to at least do like a meatless Monday forever, so I don't mind the food. I do mind the fact that making sure that I get a good balance in every meal is non-trivial, but nobody does that even when they're eating meat, right? Generally. So, yeah, and I'm still allowed to eat some meat and stuff. It's just I have to cut my red meat down to a bare minimum. Whatever. This is boring. Peanut trucker type 2 can be managed. That's why I gave up processed food and stick to meat, egg, and cheese. I can't have high sugar and drive a truck, right? Because you're not getting. I imagine you don't get a lot of exercise while driving a truck as well. Excuse me. I'm just trying to catch up here. Outdoor Dauber says, I found out because I went for my DOT physical. They get twitchy when it's 411. I had no symptoms. I have no idea what DOT is. Unless is that like Department of Transport or something? I don't know what you do for a living. So the only thing I can think of for DOT, and that sounds like an American agency kind of thing. David the Instigator popping in saying hello at the crack of 9:33. Man, I'm still late. Okay, I'm going to. Oh, and I'm 50 now. Yeah, exactly. It really catches up with us at 50, doesn't it? Send me a picture of the other cabin down the road. Ooh, Dauber sent me a picture. of his fire steel. So at the risk of sounding really, really persnickety, this is a fire steel. The thing that is shaped like a rod is not a fire steel. That's a ferro rod or a ferrocerium rod. A fire steel is a chunk of steel that you click against a rock. Flint and steel. Oh, right. And so Canadian sent me a pic of the other cabin down the road. So many pictures tonight. Just so lovely. Wow. Okay. Wait. Name? No. Name is off. Looks to me like they live in a whiskey barrel. That looks like a really small cabin, though. It looks like, no, it's a sauna. Isn't that round thing a sauna? Is that just the backyard of the cabin? And that's like one of those saunas you can buy and ship to your house? Oh, yes. The hot tub and sauna setup. Okay. Yeah. Destiny loves semi trucks. Respect how they can long haul to get us our food, and the two of them saved my life when driving in an awful snowstorm. I just wouldn't want to drive one. I don't like driving large things because I only started driving at the age of 37, I think. So I don't have the skill to drive something bigger than maybe a Jeep or a pickup. Trucker says, Dauber, that's really high. I got my DOT physical Friday. It has to be below 200 to get the 2-year card. I don't even know what you guys are talking about. David says, the lake is good. We got the dock set up last weekend. Nice. Getting set up for the warm part of the year, evidently. Saunas are wood-fired. Yes. Are there saunas that are not? Well, at least for the sleep apnea, it's an easy fix. You know, I have a CPAP. I'm sure you must have a CPAP or you're going to get one. Sleep apnea sucks, dude. Destiny says, what was the quotable quote? I was getting some cheese. Girl after my own heart. Yeah, what was the quotable quote? Largemouth bass open in mid-May. What I've never been able to figure out is, so largemouth bass and smallmouth bass, they're both obviously related fish. Is there a reason? Like, would somebody want one over the other? It seems that most of the time when I hear people talking about fishing, they're talking about largemouth. But like, is there a? Am I even remembering this correctly? Is there a smallmouth bass? I'm gonna look it up. I'm sure there's a smallmouth bass. Yes. They're a type of sunfish native to the Mississippi River watershed. So is it just that? Is it just a geographical thing, or do people prefer one over the other? Sounds like I'm live streaming in a Greek restaurant. Opa, I have no idea what that means. Oh, that was a sneeze. Christie's ads coming up split screen. Yeah, I'm gonna. What I'm afraid of is that this is something that YouTube is trying out, so like only some of us are getting it. But I hope they decide it's successful for live streams. I love this. Ooh, wood stove is already done for the summer. Jeez, that's sad. Speaking of sad, I'm going to finish this beer. was about to say something. You're getting both, like both kinds of ads. I was gonna say both kinds of bass, but then I was like, no, that's not Canadian. So I'll talk about that. Third option, Russell has premium. I'm not paying YouTube for a thing. Typing on my phone, egad. I know, I hate that. I hate it. Been doing lots of salads with protein of some sort: eggs, yogurt, veggies, pork rinds, nuts. I would not put pork. Well, the thing is, I have to also be low sodium because, of course. DOT is Department of Transportation. Destiny says, I think each person has a nutrition plan that's best for them, and some people are just wired to live a long time regardless of diet. For the vast majority of people, though, diet makes a massive difference, for sure. Dauber says, Department of Transportation, I'm in construction management, drive a commercial vehicle, but don't need a commercial driver's license, just a physical card. Okay. Then there's the free will factor. Our very healthy great grandma woke up one day and said she was done. By weekend, she was gone. To have something called a CDL, a commercial driver's license, we have a physical every 2 years. If you have problems, they give you a 1 year. Huh, I didn't know any of this. Russell keeps saying the same thing. Nachos can be a perfectly good nutrition plan. Russell keeps waking up in the morning. Miracles happen. Lakes are awesome, aren't they? Russell saying the obvious, I see. Canadian says that smallmouth bass fight like champions. Okay, that's good to know. Okay, so Outdoor Dauber agrees with you on the smallmouth. Largemouth bass get bigger. Smallmouth are scrappier. Very few largemouth in the Susquehanna River. Oh, do you hear the commercial instead of the content? Oh, I guess that makes sense. That makes sense. Okay, so that it still sucks. But at least now you know that you're missing something. I don't know. Dear YouTube, fuck right off. Love, Jesse. David is asking nonsense questions. Do people who see split screen commercials have split screen personalities? Hey, there's Jim, just going to lurk tonight. Okay. All right, that's fine. Nice to hear from you anyway. And I hope you're enjoying the show. I'm having a hard time being interesting tonight. Dave, Russell, I don't know why I'm giving either of these guys the time of day tonight. If you unfocus your eyes, you can probably watch both of them at the same time, like those 3D pictures. Let me know how that goes. Try it with the next advert, and then let me know how that goes. Destiny says, it would be nice if YouTube would allow us to pay our channel membership fees for the whole year at once. Oh, well. So I can see why that would be beneficial in many ways, Destiny, but I'll tell you why I don't agree with that. Excuse me. Say, you're a member of my channel. We get along great. And then one night I start saying some really weird stuff. Maybe I've gone down a rabbit hole and come out the other side all like fascist or something. But it's only halfway through the year. you're probably going to want to be like, you know what, sayonara. But if you've paid up for the whole year, I still benefit from that half year of your money, right? So, like, because there are people on YouTube who I used to support and then was like, I think maybe our time is done. That's the only reason why I think it's probably better. Because could you imagine trying to get back half of the year of your membership payment? YouTube is probably not going to want to do that because they took 30% of it, right? So that's the only reason why I would say they wouldn't want to, or not that they wouldn't want to. They're not going to care. Like there's a certain amount of protection there for the person who's paying the membership. Aside from that, you're right. It's it'd be great to just like done. Especially if, like me, people keep cloning your credit card, and so you keep having to change your credit card, and then you have to redo all your damn memberships and stuff. David is asking the important questions tonight. Yes, evidently he is. 2153 now. Ugadal, I believe it's just I don't know. I was going to say I think Ugadal is just a 3-year, but I don't actually know. I have no idea. In 2 minutes, I'll pour it. A full screen ad, okay. But I mean, if you guys can't hear me, even with the split screen ads, then maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe who cares? Destiny says, quote unquote, Russell keeps waking up in the morning. Miracles continue to happen. Did I say? I said that. I said that. What the hell? What a jerkular thing to say. Oh, Dauber's getting buffering. Who else is getting buffering? Who's getting buffering? Sound off. 2154. Quotable quote. Your YouTube F right off. Who said that? I said that. Boy. No buff bodies here. Russell, that's your cuticle call Ray. Evidently, I said something that rings true with many of you. Oops, no buffering here. Yeah, but like that's the only benefit I could see to having to pay every month, right? Because I'm with you. It would be so much easier because I pay a couple of memberships too. Are you right? And it'd be great to just have it done and dusted, one big payment. But you know. Country Boy says, speaking of fuck right off, what is the French word for fuck? I was listening to a podcast and they said you can say it on the radio in Quebec. Okay, so you can say it on TV in Quebec because in Quebecois, the only meaning it really has is when you say, oh, man, say you're driving and your car blows a tire, but you're driving at speed. So when the car blew the tire, and say it was a front tire, and so you ended up plowing face first, nose first into the ditch. You know, when you say, oh man, the car's fucked. That exists in Quebecois, right? When you say something's fucké, it's kind of like, it's done, you know? The words for actually what the word means, the intercourse, those are all different words, right? There are things that you can legally show on Canadian TV at prime time that you are not allowed to show in the United States, right? You can show boobs. It's very rarely done these days, but back in the day, it was done a lot more when people weren't quite so puritanical, right? But you can. In fact, when I was in school, university, one of the sayings we had in my department was that it says something about our two countries where in Canada you were not allowed to show a gun discharge during prime time, but you were allowed to show nudity, not full frontal, but softcore boobs. Whereas in the States it was the opposite. You could show a gun discharge anytime, but you can't show the boobs before like 11 p.m. or something. In Quebec, oh yeah, so like there are certain words you can say on the CBC as well, like shit. You can't say fuck during prime time on the CBC. There's no way. But you can say shit. You can call something bullshit. Certain things like that you can say. In Quebec is even looser. But yeah, so that word you can say pretty much anywhere. Look, the worst French Canadian swear, specifically Quebecois, I'm not sure. Maybe Pan French Canadian, I don't know. But the worst of the worst is tabarnak. That word that'll make anyone stop. And sort of like, hey, so it's the equivalent to fuck, or to like motherfucker, I guess, in English. But you can get away with a lot on French radio for sure. Don't know why I'm talking about this. But anyways. Oh, it's because I said fuck right off, right? Edward Harper says you have no idea how buff my body is. This is going to get awkward fast, guys. And I'm here for it. David got a new credit card. Must set up his memberships again. I also recently changed my card. Had to, Jerkular. Yeah, well, that's a Jesseism, but you can use it. Oop, 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 whoops. Ow. Man, I haven't had Ugadal in a long time. If Paul's still here, when was the last time you had an Ugadal? This was one of my favorite distilleries for many, many, many moons. I have heard tell that the Ugadal is nowhere near what it was a couple of, whatever, when it first came out. I haven't had a truly old Ugadal, so I don't know. Like, it's all about the quality of the casks that are still around for them to use. Anyway. Yeah, I think so. I think that was a quotable quote for sure. Tabber Snooch. What do boobs have to do with bushcraft? Depending on the kind of bush we're talking. I wish I'd stopped that before I stopped that. Moving right along, we shall be. They keep your eyes sharp. Homie in the house. How are you doing? How's homie tonight? Did you get anything cool, new recently? The only thing I'm really waiting on right now is an opportunity to buy that moose pattern folding knife so I can do my my Nesmic Trio video. Oh, I haven't actually looked it up, but I know it's been sold out for like ever. You've never had the Ugadal? Okay, that's interesting. To a lot of people, it's their favorite hardbag. I really felt burnt by that Wee Beastie, the second bottle of the Wee Beastie. But I have yet to hate an Ugadal. I didn't hate the Wee Beastie. I didn't like that second bottle. Like, after it had been open for a while, it got worse rather than better because that Band-Aid thing popped in. And I was surprised because I don't detect a lot of iodine in Ardbeg. That's like a Lefroy thing for me, which is why there's very few Lefroy expressions I can stand. It's not that I think it's bad whiskey. It's just not my taste. What's good, Canada, says homie Omi. I'll tell you what's good. The weather lately in Montreal. I don't know about, where Country Boy is or where Destiny is or anything, but here it's been glorious. Hot, sunny. All right. That garbage delicious beer is now finished. I still don't know what the fuck a Cavaliers is. So, I don't know if anyone up here has had this before, but I cannot recommend it. Well, if you like sort of fruity beer, then fine. I mean literally fruity beer. That wasn't a weird comment or anything. Peanut Truck is asking Destiny, which birthdays are coming up? May birthdays, the Tauruses, and the Geminis. Disney says Country Boy, Peanut Trucker, and Sean, the May birthday boys. Hey, and me. May 21st is Rain Dance Bushcraft's birthday. Middle day of the cusp. So half Taurus, half Gemini. Or as I like to say, we're both stubborn bitches. Because Gemini's twins. And Taurus is like a bull, so he's like stubborn. It's funny. Oh, okay. You've got a bottle, but it's not open yet. Okay. Country Boy says high 20s coming up this weekend. Gross. It's been not high 20s. Well, yesterday it got to 25, so that's mid. But Paul did not like Wee Beastie at all. I wanted to. I really did. The first bottle, I may have just been like, it might have just been like a honeymoon thing. But I won't buy it again. I mean, it's not expensive, but it's too expensive to not like the bottle. I mean, the worst mistake like that I've made is right there. Oh no, he stepped off screen. Sorry, I know. Oh, it's a mess back there. I finally did my taxes this week, and so this was awash with paperwork. This is probably the worst mistake I've made on whiskey. Proper 12. It's the worst whiskey I've ever had. But the reason this is a bigger mistake, even though this, I will absolutely back the concept that this is a good whiskey, but it's heavily iodined. Like really, like nope. And people who don't have a problem with the Band-Aid, there are people who like it, will love this. It's because this was a lot more expensive than that stupid Proper 12. The Proper 12 was like, I think, $47 in Quebec. And this, I think, was $130. And I mean, I've gotten down to there by sharing it because nope. I mean, maybe it's toned it down and lost some of that now, but and this was the first English whiskey I bought. I mean, I have another one now. I have a Filey Bay. Well, that's Welsh. So I should not have said that. Anyways, there's an English that's not peated, which I would like to try. Because I can tell you, I know that it's a good whiskey objectively. You can't say something's good objectively. That was a terrible. You can't use the word objectively and say that something's good like that. That's terrible for somebody who makes his living writing. Dauber likes sour beers. Well, this one is sour. I mean, if you like sour and like big fruit, big berry flavors, then I don't think it's a bad beer. I think it's exactly what I don't like. Oh yeah, I do like me some porters and stouts. Absolutely. Yes, Jess is as well. 21st. Oh, homie has something for my next 10 lives. He went on a rampage, but you're taking a break. Did you send me some photos? Man, my arm is killing me. Nothing yet. So what kind of stuff did you get? Oh, I just got I noticed that I'm live. Okay, right now I have one of those double-ended ads on my screen. But of course I can't hear it because I have my YouTube screen muted. Oh well. Yeah, Destiny, I think you mixed up Scott and me. I mean, it's an easy mistake. A lot of people have. So who's May 12th, 1968? Yeah, who is May 12th? Yeah, wasn't that? I thought it was Chris. Because remember, like way back when this was discussed, I was like, yeah, you're May 12th, I'm May 21st. This is going to bug me until we've got this figured out. You recently opened an NO and you're not impressed, but I'll give it some time. I also have an NO. I opened it a couple of summers ago. I liked it, but I'm not entirely sure what the whatever raison d'être is in English of some of Ardbeg's expressions. Like for some of them, it's just age, right? Like I've got a Corey of Reckon that I haven't opened yet. I have an NO. The Ugadal, it's because there's a shared element there. I get it, but I kind of feel that like the 10, the Corey of Reckon, just because of like the age statement or whatever, and the Ugadal, like what else do they really need? And they've got all these committee releases. I've got two of them, both of which I got from Alberta, by the way, because there's no point in being in the committee in Quebec. You're not going to get the bottles. But I don't know what they're just trying to. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but like committee releases used to be special. Now there are too many of them, and they're too damn dull for the price. That's a deep cut, Dauber. That's a deep cut from way back. I haven't seen a Cotswolds. I've been wanting to grab one. I have no idea what it would even cost here, but I've been wanting to try it. I've heard good things about it. Yeah, no, I know. I absolutely. That's why I stopped myself. I was like, no, it's not English. It's not English. It's Welsh. Check out the poll. Right. Let's end the poll. Probably the most boring poll we've ever had. So what are our numbers? Are you getting split screen ads? 64% are no. Yes, it's 36. So what I'm thinking is probably YouTube is trying it out with some users. And now that I know that you couldn't hear me during the ads anyway, I kind of don't care how they do it. Yeah, Chris is May 12th. Right. 1969. Summer of Love, Baby Doll. Hey, you know what? I'm pretty sure that somebody didn't tell me it was time for my whiskey. Pita goodness. Excuse me. Dauber says, I'm going to enjoy the fire for a bit longer, then head inside for bed. It was nice seeing everyone. Good night. Thanks for hanging with us. It's been a long time, and I'm glad you were here saying many things. Good night, Dauber. Until next time you buy something for a stonking price. Hold on. Hold on now. Mark says, hi, Jess. I thought today was Monday all day. Oh, wow. That's not a good way to have your week. I don't want 2 Mondays in 1 week. Chris says, Disney, I can't believe you forgot. I know I'm not Ray, but Country Boy says, it's Tuesday. It is Tuesday. Here we are. Homie says, one of my favorite makers, Lon Humphrey, is retiring from knife making, so I grabbed a few from him. It's good to get a few before they either stop making them or sell the works to someone else, right? Destiny says, I was looking at an old birthday list. You're still our hero, Chris. I'm going to have to put some heat on this tonight. Oh, it's killing me. It's okay, Mark. Just started the show saying it was April 27th, so he was also still on Monday. I thought I corrected myself, though. No? I didn't say anything here. Clearly, I was showing disdain for that comment. Mark says, you changed your name again, eh? If it's yeah, this is a good name, though. This is probably the best one. The best of both worlds. Destiny says, speaking of Ray, I think he's a May baby, too. Well, if anyone here is going to know, you're going to know. Outdoor Dauber on his buff body out. Tonight is going really fast, which is hilarious because I'm not being that interesting. But I'm just sort of like, I'm just noticing how fast it's going. I'm like, Yeah, Destiny finally figured out how to change the handle. It's, I know I keep using this word, but it's non-trivial. It's not in an obvious place at all. You kind of have to dig for it. Buff Daddy out. Apparently, I'm always interesting. I think I am. But I also think that I'm fabulous. I think I'm kind. I'm giving. I'm really quite a wonderful human being. I think that most people should agree with me. But most people don't. It's okay, though. As I said before, I bruise easily, but I heal fast. Again, as everybody should. As everybody should. One thing I like about Ugadal, Paul, is that the finish on the... I don't know what's being made right now. This bottle's a few years old, but the finish, it's still going, right? And it really peters out to like an ashy thing from the initial peat smoke, little bit of brine because Ardbeg, and a dark fruit from the sherry cask, I guess. It turns into like this ash, like the fire is over, because it goes from kind of a big peat thing to a campfire fairly quickly. And then to like, that smell you have when you've put your campfire out with water. And it's still there. Like there's just a ghost of it there still. Pole. It's just interesting. The way you wrote pole is something we can dance on. Forgot to pour my dram. Come on, dude. What's the kind of having tonight? Which I still have to find a bottle of and give it a try. Paul approves. Paul approves. Thing is, Chris, if I make that poll, the people we got here, everyone's going to say no just to be brats and to make me feel bad about myself. More than I already do. You know what I think about sometimes? Things that are an acquired taste, right? Whiskey for sure is an acquired taste. Very few people try a dram and think, this is amazing. Some people do, right? But for a lot of people, especially for like peated or smoky malts, they don't love it their first time. I did, but I'm in the minority on that. Coffee, right? Smoking for those who are so inclined, although that feels so grandfatherly at this point. Like whenever I see a youngster doing it, I'm like, are you aware of how geriatric that looks in this century? Anyway, whatever. The fact is, I'm getting distracted because that's what I do. Things that are an acquired taste. Why does anyone give them a chance and come around to liking them? I can see there being like a social pressure, whatever. But if you take yourself out of a social pressure context, right? Like if you go early enough in smoky whiskey, that it's not an established thing that we're told that those who love the finer things love smoky peated whiskey. Like if you take that entire framework away, you just rip it off, throw it over your shoulder, sit on it to get rid of it completely, just whatever, gone. You're a couple of guys at an illegal still in Scotland a few hundred years ago, and like what made them think the first guys to do a peated, because a peated whiskey just means that you're malting on a floor heated by a peat fire, right? What made them think this is gonna what made them think this is going to be an acquired taste for any of these things, not just for whiskey, for any of these things? Like, who was the first person to acquire the taste of anything that's an acquired taste? Because that's the person that made sure that this thing didn't disappear before the rest of us got to try it. Or is it something just as simple as different tastes, right? No, we would never do that, Paul. I would throw my back out so hard if I ever tried to pole dance. Anyway, it really is, Paul. Yeah, the Catherine. I prefer the Kildare, but it's a nice bottle as well. I haven't had either of these. If we didn't find you interesting, would we actually hang out for 2 hours? Okay, so yes, there is that. Obviously, I mean, you're obviously right because you're almost always right, especially when you agree with me. But there's also the fact that I'm not the only one here. There's a lot of interesting stuff being said here all the time, right? I mean, you guys have to be here at least partly so that you can chat with each other on a Tuesday night with whiskey. Christy nailed it. Yeah. Oh, Paul says that he prefers the Catherine because the Kildare is more like an Irish whiskey. So the Catherine is more of a Scotch thing, I guess. Because those two are very different for sure. I can see why some people would prefer over the other then. Speaking as someone who hasn't tried either bottle. I really got to fix that though, don't I? Paul, you have a few bottles where like, how the hell did you get those? Homie sent me a pic. You're probably getting it from Alberta. I mean, that's how I manage it. To my Insta. I said, bam. Not this Insta. Oh, no, of course not. That's not my rain dance one. Ooh, that one on the far left, that one makes me weak in the knees. Oh, yep. The others are a little too Americana for me, but that one on the left, that little, oof, what's that one called? Is your name hidden? Yes, it is. Hold on, let me get the, oh, hold on. That one right. Piss on a biscuit. That one right, that one right there. That one talks to me. I would love to know more about that one. Not like I can buy knives right now, but that big one is a big honker. Hold on. Let's hide the username. Again, it's the same one that really talks to me. I like that. Yeah. Like coffee, exactly. For me, if I think I've said this to you guys before, I repeat myself all the time because what I say is so damn good that why not just do reruns? So my first experience with coffee was in one of those cone, like not a percolator, but one of those cone machines, a paper cone. The smell of coffee is possibly one of the best smells ever. Not coffee in somebody's breath. We all had that teacher in elementary who just sort of had this stale coffee smell around them. But like the coffee of brewing smell. The coffee of brewing smell. Yeah, I said that. Okay. The smell of brewing coffee in the morning. Possibly one of the best scents ever. But having worked at 3 Starbucks and a couple of sort of third wave coffee places, I've done a lot of coffee education. So I know that those coffee filters, the paper filters, they kind of sap some of the essential oils. That's not the proper term, but I'm tired from the coffee. So maybe that's what the issue was. But the first time I tasted coffee, I was so let down by the disconnect between the glorious smell and the really shitty taste that I became kind of coffee averse. I'm not coffee averse in that like I'm against coffee or like I will not drink it. If I'm in a restaurant that I know has terrible tea, it'll have to be coffee. When we used to play, we still play the festival in the mountains in Alberta, but when the site was still owned by the original owners, they did a cowboy breakfast on the Sunday morning with cowboy coffee. And you have not lived until you've stood in the Rockies, surrounded by that much coniferous magic with a cowboy coffee in your hand. I do not put no milk. I do not put no sugar. Okay. If the first time I had tried coffee was from, just making sure I didn't get kicked off again. If the first time I had coffee was from like a mocha machine, like that stovetop thing, or a Bodum or something, I would probably be a bit of a coffee monster because the smell is so good. And when you take the paper plane, not the paper plane, that's a cocktail. When you take the paper filter away and you let the coffee just happen fully, it's a whole different flavor experience. That's philosophy. And I just realized this now, so I'm trying to figure out how to. What I may not be paying enough attention to is the quality of the coffee that someone who tends to use a paper number 4 cone accepts versus what somebody who insists on doing the stovetop thing. That might actually have as big an impact as the vessel in which the coffee was made. Because like if somebody's got a can of pre-ground nabob on the counter or whatever, or like whatever that chock full of nut stuff is, versus somebody who grinds their own beans like we do, that's going to be a big difference for sure. Where did whiskey actually originate from? Do we know? Yeah, it's Irish. They were doing it before Scotland. The reason why the Irish added the E into the spelling, which Americans then took on, was to differentiate themselves from what they found to be an inferior product coming out of Scotland. Way back then, they were probably right. But yeah, it's Irish. Because I will probably try to get both bottles at the same time to compare. If I could afford it, I would try to do the same damn thing. Steve says, "Oh, hi, Jess. I didn't see you there. I was busy with the chat." I love that. That's a great comment. Country says, "I'm new to whiskey, so I'm no professional." And that's the Lon Humphrey Gold Digger. That's a cool knife. How is that, like a 3-inch blade? The smell and the taste of frying bacon are a perfect match, Destiny, for sure. Don't know if you remember me. I'm going to ask you what shampoo you use. I just want to, for what it's worth, I thought that was really funny. So one of the things I mean, that's too long, Holmes, right? For me, one of the best things about shaving my head every morning, except this morning, evidently, is that I don't ever have to care what shampoo I have. Man, the girls each have their own. I live with 3 girls, right? A full-on adult, a 14-year-old, and a 7-year-old, and they each have their own shampoo, and they each have this gorgeous freaking Haitian hair. But like when I was a lot younger, I had at points in my life freakishly long and then just long hair, and then I had like a mohawk. That's a lot of care. I had some friends back in the punk days that they just used egg white, like London punks did back in the 70s. I love not having hair on my head for just the simplicity. Like I can have a 4-minute shower. I often have a 4-minute shower. You know how I time my showers? You guys know that I have severe ADHD, right? So putting an alarm on for the shower is not going to work. So there's a YouTube channel called Belle of the Ranch, political commentary. All of her videos are between like 4 and 6 minutes. 4 and 6 minutes means I'm still getting out the door almost on time. Because I also have ADHD time blindness. I think I can get everything done in 5 minutes. Stupid. But I put on one of her videos and I can tell when she's about to wrap up. Like I can tell when she's starting to sum up her thoughts, so that when she says, "Anyway, that's just a thought. Y'all have a good day," and then stops, I can be rinsing at the start of, "Anyway, it's just a thought." And then I get out, dry myself, brush my teeth with the squeak, run the hell out the damn door. So yeah, I don't use shampoo, and I'm really happy about it. But yeah, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Aristotle, bushcraft, you philosopher. I don't remember what the hell I said there. I do know that in order to get into my program way back in school, I had to know Aristotle's Poetics back to front. Like in the interview to get into my program, they were asking me questions, and I couldn't have the book in front of me. That was a lot of reading that summer. But as soon as the program started, I saw exactly why I had to really know that book, because the entire communications industry I wonder if this is still true. It is, because the theories are still there. Film, plays, writing, TV, it's all based on the philosophies in that book. You know? It's going to be boring if I continue down this line of discourse. So we'll move right along. Time blindness, it's not, I didn't make that up. That's an actual ADHD thing. It's called time blindness. And it's literally, we all think that, well, I got 5 minutes. Okay, just let me wash my hair. Oh, I got 5 minutes. I'm going to make a cup of tea and put it in a thermos, and then we'll go. It's why we're always either super early or absolutely late. I would love to get a master's. I could not afford to go all the way to the UK, though. Like Oxford or Cambridge or something. Become a Rhodes Scholar would be great, but I like the way they do university there, like especially when you get to a master's or whatever. But I don't think about it because I couldn't. I would love to get a master's, but I'm really jaded about academia, and I could not handle being surrounded by that many kids. I mean, I'm old. I'm old. I'm 53, but like in terms of going back to school, I'm old, right? I even know what I would do my master's on. I don't know if it'd be accepted, but I have this question, and so I'm kind of glad you asked that. Actually, like I don't know how serious you were with the question, but it dovetails with something that I've been wondering. I wonder how much of an effect all these bushcraft influencers and YouTubers and stuff have on, like really have on the conservation movement, the environmentalist movement, the efforts to save the green spaces that we need in order to do our bushcraft stuff, or hunters need to do their hunting stuff, or we all need just to sort of decompress. And I would like to have an excuse to deep dive that question. And so that's what I would probably pitch my master's on, like the Leave No Trace movement is great, but does it have a larger effect, or is it really localized to, oh, I'm going camping, I'm going to take my stuff out of the forest thing? Like, does the Leave No Trace movement help inspire people to care more in a larger sense, like in a sense of giving money to the Nature Conservancy of Canada, which I've done many, many times? But maybe I'm the only one. Or maybe, like, does it have a larger effect, or is it really localized to when we're camping, we take our stuff home? I'd love to have an answer to that question. And I love research. So that's what I would go back to school for. I can't afford the time, and I can't afford the price. I was philosophizing about my coffee. Okay. Well, okay. Oh, my land, it's already 10:36. Time blindness, destiny, time blindness. Also ADHD rage. I don't know if you've heard of that. Because our brains have no buffer between something happening and us reacting to it. Like I live a no regrets life, because I don't think there's any point in going back and like ruminating over this thing, that thing. Oh, did everyone hate me at the party? Oh my God. I used to ruminate massively, by the way. I had this realization one morning in the shower that there are a lot fewer days that way than there were that way for me. And so I let go of a lot now. But ADHD rage is when something happens. It might be something stupid. Often it is. Like you didn't like the tone of voice that someone used, and you just go boom. And then later you're like, why did I do that? And you're not going to know why, because we're wired that way. There's all kinds of these little statements that sound pithy and fun, but it's not fun. It's, oh, I've got an ad with a dog on it. 2 dogs and mountains. Where is this? And then salmon? What? Oh, it's a dog food commercial. Never mind. I don't know if it's the best place, especially right now. I think Brexit really kind of ruined. Okay, that might be political, so never mind. I call the Brexit vote the triumph of the chaffs. So anyone who knows the UK will know what I mean. But I would love to do it there for sure. But I mean, look, if I was to choose a place to do my master's, and I had the money to not do it in Canada, I would probably go to the UK, maybe Ireland, maybe something like that. You know, somewhere where there's ready access to woodland, with walking paths with like a right to roam. Sweden, Sweden would be better. Boreal forest homes, right to roam in a boreal forest. Hello. And I speak rudimentary Swedish already, so you know. But yeah, like I have a massive warmth because I grew up in a country where up until Jean Chrétien, the UK was not really a separate country, right? So I mean, there's a lot of growing up seeing them as, you know, not completely separate from us, right? So I still sort of feel a pull to home for the UK the way I don't for anywhere else aside from obviously Canada. But I you know, I have Irish cousins, and I'd like to see that country one day. And I massively respect Scandinavia. So that if I was to do a master's, it would be somewhere in Canada or one of those. It would have to be a place with ready access to the woods, because I would be talking about bushcraft and probably shooting some video and interviewing some people who are involved, right? So it's not like I couldn't go to the Sorbonne to do this. They wouldn't take it anyway, but you know what I'm saying. Although French universities, you know, they'll put out some killer academics for sure. 10:36, isn't that the 10 code for what time is it? Is that? Roger, give me the vector. That's a solid copy. You mean your 10:20? It is 10:40 right now. It's 22:40. Joy says, I just have regular rage. ADHD has nothing to do with it. Yeah, ADHD rage is another thing. There's all these things that I never knew the terms for. And now I can't keep up with the terms, but I deeply, deeply know what the terms refer to. The time blindness thing has done me no favors, though. It really has not done me any favors. That's why I have to gamify everything, you know? Okay. Getting late in the morning. Okay, I got to go take my shower. And I know, Bell of the Ranch, 4 to 6 minutes. I can deal with that. And I can hear it when she's coming up to the end. Because an alarm doesn't give me the warning that it's time to start getting ready to leave. It just suddenly happens. And it bugs me. And I turn it off. You know? By the way, Jim, I thought you said you were just going to be lurking tonight. What are you doing commenting? What's up with this? Were you lying? Or you just decided that No, you can bless us with a little commentation. Is commentation a word? That's not a word. Commentary? It loses the impact when I fuck up the words, doesn't it? What? I saw something, but 1020 is your location. I'm trying to think. So 10-4, like that's actual 10 code. Like there's 10 this, 10 that, 10 the other. I often wonder what the hell 10-4 came from. So it's just one of a whole line of codes? Is this trucker code? Is that what it is? What the hell is 10 code? And is 10 code still used? Like, does anyone have a CB radio anymore? Look, if you're gonna go into academia, go for it. But I kind of rather my kids went to trade school, because I know so many people coming out of university with a degree, but they're not hireable in today's world. But an electrician will likely never go bankrupt. A plumber will likely always have the mortgage paid. A carpenter is a little seasonal, but like stuff like electrician, plumber, or stuff like that, like you're not going to starve. Coming out of university with like a liberal arts degree, there are only so many cafes and bookstores in the world. You know what I'm saying? I went to university, by the way. I went at a time when that was the pinnacle, right? You have to go to university, especially like in whatever. I'm not going to say that, but like I look at people who woodwork for a living, and I have envy. It's too late for me to go back and start again, right? But cabinet making, especially like once you've got some seniority, like enough seniority that you could go out on your own and make a go of it with your own little smell of wood, sawdust, the feel of a perfectly planed plank, because planing, sanding smooths everything. Fine. But you cannot beat a beautifully planed piece of wood. It's got a sheen to it that sanding paper will never give you. I went to university. Everyone I know practically went to university. Most of us even finished. And we're doing fine, most of us. We got good jobs. Jim cracked a beer. Fair enough. I'm going to have another dram. I got another 15 minutes. I'm going to have a small dram. The thing is, this Ugadal is 54.2. 54.2. See, I know my whiskey. Not like Paul does, and some of the other whiskey channels. These guys really freaking know their whiskey. I just know my whiskey. I don't freaking know my whiskey. So like I don't want to overdo it, because it's a work night, and because I still have to do my whimsies and make lunches for the kids. God knows one of them's too young to make her lunches, and the other one's too 14. CB radio codes, police codes, etc. But like, why is it at 10? Destiny says, those people who always know where they are in the forest without a compass are so interesting. That's got to be an innate thing. That's not me. That ain't me. I need the help for sure. CB code. CB. Does that stand for Citizens Band? Where did that come from? How did that pop into my head? Is it Citizens Band? I believe the 10 codes were originally for policing and adopted by truckers when two-way radio became the norm. Interesting. But why is it at 10? Cousin takes his master on his 40s. Yeah, maybe it's never too late. Maybe it's, I mean, my mom did her master's in her 40s, I think. So you're probably right. You're right. It's never too late. Look, it's never too late. I say it's too late because I'm a freaking coward who has way too much stuff going on at home to take the time. The money element is daunting, though. Jim says, I think it depends on the forest. Thing is, like, some of the things that we think of as like ancient knowledge about direction and stuff is not true. Like, moss only grows on the north side of the tree. You can say the west side or the east side. It's all equally wrong. It doesn't only grow on one side. And like perpetuating that knowledge, perpetuating that knowledge. I say knowledge in inverted commas there, right? That'll get someone killed. Because if you get lost in the forest, you're not guaranteed to survive that by any stretch, under any means. Whereas those who believe in stuff like a compass and a map, chances are they will probably be okay, unless something really goes wrong. Unless they don't know how to use a map and a compass, right? Jim says, I got familiar with some pieces of forest, then got lost one day with a coworker while bird hunting. Pretty embarrassing. Yeah, that's funny. Country Boy says, not necessarily innate. I used to struggle with it, but then one day it just clicked, and I always know where I am now. I do not always know where I am. Jim is a map freak. Oh. So it looks like it can be learned, says Destiny. Followed up by Bluegrass saying, does depend on the forest. I'm okay in the Daniel Boone National Forest, which is local, but I got lost once in the Fangorn Forest and liked. Oh, and liked. And liked. Yeah, familiarity is going to help you, right? If it's like a forest where, for instance, in North Vancouver, there's this sort of Lee, what's it called? Lee Valley? No, it's called Lynn Canyon. Lee Valley is a store. Lynn Canyon. At one point, I could bomb all over that entire forested area and know exactly where the hell I was. Today, probably not, because it's been a few decades, but familiarity is underrated. Maybe it's not underrated. Maybe I just said that because I'm tired. I've had a whiskey. But familiarity will really hold your hand in a lot of cases, for sure. Familiar waypoints change. That actually is funny. That hilariously dovetails with what I was just saying about Lynn Canyon. Mark is liked by all of us. I don't know what this means. Oh, Mark is out. All right. Good night, mister. Sleep well. See you next Tuesday, I hope. I will be going to bed soon as well. I got to do my stupid tennis elbow exercises, though. A boring thing to say. Okay. Go. Hold on. Okay, got it. I can do this. We're going to do this together. Mark said, it does depend on the forest. I'm okay in the Daniel Boone, but I got lost once in the Fangorn forest and liked. It would to never have found my way out. Okay, got it. And he follows it up with this keyboard. I get it. Okay. That took me a moment, but we all got together in the end. You're here till the bitter end. Thank you very much. I treasure that about you. Unlike certain people who will like leave 2 minutes till the end. Like, okay, good night. I'm tired. Like, it's 2 minutes to the end. People, we're 7 minutes to the end tonight. So somebody's gonna leave. I got it. It's the keyboard. Are you on your phone? I'm the best of times. My typos are the stuff of legend, but trying to type shite out like while I'm watching a live on this thing is awful. It's absolutely awful. It's it's doubly bad because you can't at somebody in the side chat on phones still. Unless this has changed in the past like week or two. Like, why can't I at somebody? At, start their name. Boop, it shows up. Tap and types directly to them like you can on desktop. It's shocking. It's dismaying. It's BS. It's also bullshit. Jim, did you really leave? Because I'm going to be so angry with you. But you're not a quitter, Mark. You power through and get her done. Absolutely. I love it. Damn it, Jim. Damn it, Jim. I'm a live streamer, not a magic user. What? I don't know where this comes from. How did we end up with like 31 people right before, like 5 minutes to the end? Yeah, I'm laughing too. That's Jim's such a brat sometimes. I love it. Hey, what beer are you drinking tonight, Jim? Should I finish off with half a dram of this to tell you exactly what I don't like about it? We did an episode once where we spoke about oh, I missed something. Hold on. There we go. It's gone. Oh, yeah, we did a whole conversation one night about like what's your bushcraft or camping like after work dram or beer or whatever, and there was some interesting responses to that. And it's interesting to me because it's almost universal. Unless somebody's a teetotaler, everyone has like a certain booze or whatever that they always bring. Like the campfire fits with, for some people, an IPA. For me, it's got to be a whiskey. It's got to be a whiskey. And it's almost a bourbon thing. I mean, I don't buy bourbon anymore. I can't buy bourbon anymore, right? Because I live in Quebec. Probably won't anyway. But For me, it's a dram of whiskey. I mean, I have beer out in the woods as well, for sure. For sure. Who else has for sure anymore? Well, in Canada, a lot of people actually. Wow, distracted again. Sorry, people. But I found like some of the answers way back when. Like we should probably do this episode again to see if anyone's changed. We also have a slightly different crew than we used to, right? Some of the old guard have disappeared, and there are some more recent people who come every week, or at least attend. So maybe we should do that again. I don't know. What do you guys think? Should we have another episode about your camping or bushcraft alcohol choices or non-alcohol choices for the teetotalers? Paul. Okay, crew, night, everyone. Just do you have any free time for a meetup? Lunchtime sometime soon. I can make that work. Ping me offline, and I'll figure it. I'll get it to work somehow. For sure. Destiny is saying good night to Paul. Paul, I hope to see you next week. Jim says one of my favorite quotes is, "You quit smoking?" No, I'm not a quitter. I just don't do it anymore. That's great. I love that. Destiny says, yes, let's redo it. Okay, so what we'll do is one night. I don't know. What do you think? Is next week too soon? Should we do it the week after? We'll do another bushcraft / camping drinks episode. Because I also would like to get ideas of non-alcoholic stuff, because I tend to bring my kids camping every year. Am I new guard or old guard? Well, I mean, I've been doing YouTubing since 2013, which would make you absolutely new guard. But you're not as new as some of the newer new guard. And I've also only been live streaming for about longer than I thought, actually. I've been doing this for... When was my first live stream? I don't have time to answer this because it's 22:59, but I've got to look that up now, because now I'm all like, how long have I been doing this? Like, who's really old guard versus new? Oh, that's a good question, Jim. Summer campfire beer or winter campfire beer? For me, a summer campfire beer would be something like not an IPA, but something lighter, whereas a winter campfire beer would absolutely be a porter or a stout for sure. Homie, Jim says your old guard, so it's your old guard. Done. Just consider my favorite cheese is considered processed. There was a whole interesting conversation about that on Star Talk recently that is 11, so I don't have time to tell you about. Cheese. But anyways, interesting. Very interesting. Mark, you're a brat. Just want to throw that out there. I haven't camped since I started into the whiskey world, so I had to bring a lot of bottles to see which one works. I'd fall in the fire before I figured it out. Don't fall in the fire. Speaking from experience. But for now, it is 11. I gotta deal with my tennis elbow, or I'm going to cry because it's freaking painful. So between now and then, between now and next Tuesday, which is the then, this is now, next Tuesday will be the then. Everybody, please, for land's sakes, be healthy. I was going to say be hale and be hearty, but that's not what I say every week. What is it? Be healthy, be sane, be safe, and be kind to one another. Good night, peeps. See you next week.